up from where we left off, shall we? We came from Semperna town and now we have arrived at Kapolei.
Wow, what an arrival. Crystal clear waters, starfish everywhere, shoals of fish, and beautiful ladies. Hello! Hello.
Perched on the shallow seabed of Ligitan Reefs, Sipadan Kapolei Dive Resort boasts of serenity on a water village that's sandwiched between the sunshine and the sea. Now, with the exception of a tiny sandbank, there is no land in sight, allowing your eyes to feast on miles of glittering turquoise waters. The best dive spots are extremely close and can be reached in just a few minutes by speedboat. I heard that even diving by the dive center's pier is amazing.
So our first dive of the day is going to be in Mubble. It is going to be a great dive site because it's an old oil rig, so we're going to be diving underneath that. The water seems really flat, really clear. Hopefully the current's not too strong, but it should be a good dive. So really looking forward to this one.
Our dive master has been acquainted with these waters for the past 10 years, and her name is Michio.
You can see school of jackfish around here, so I try to look for school of jackfish, and also I will try to look for the frogfish also. Yeah, and lots of nudibranchs, many kinds of nudibranchs. Yeah, okay.
Our first location was at Mabel Island, where our 20-meter deep dive site was called the Old House Reef. Now, these structures here are man-made and built to promote marine life in areas that have such, I would say, empty bottoms, and the fish here have definitely caught on to these little construction pieces. Mabel is well known for its odd creatures that are only noticeable upon closer inspection. The ones that I was impressed with were these camouflaged critters. Blended into the background are the crocodile fish, scorpion fish, and the infamous frogfish that can't actually swim, just kind of waddles around the reef a little. Now, funny how all these fishes are simply named after other animals. Another eye-catcher would be the nudibranches. These are sea slugs with intricate and vivid colored patterns to warn predators that they're actually poisonous. So now you know. Don't get too close to pretty looking organisms, alright guys? Just look at this lionfish. Its flamboyant fins are lethal and are used to inject venom into their predators. For humans, a sting can result in breathing difficulties and nausea. Michio mentioned on the boat that she was gonna look for jackfish, and found them she did. Also known as big-eyed trevally, they move around the reefs they inhabit during the day, whilst at night their school dissolves as they hunt for prey. Mabel is said to be the yin to Sipadan's yang, and I'm delirious just thinking about the yang. Come on yang, bring on the yang.
Surprise! You're on candid camera!
Morning.
Oh, morning. Today I have applied the words of Benjamin Franklin. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Oh yes.
There you go. Yeah, gonna look smart for Mr. Whale Shot if we bump into him.
Kapolei's Dive Center ensures an organized storage for your equipment after your first dive, so you don't need to carry your stuff back and forth from your room.
It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It is 5:30 pretty much. The sun's just about to come up. The stars are still out, the moon's still out. But we're all headed to Sipadan. There is so much, there's just so much activity at the moment. There's a hive of activity, everybody's coming over. We're going to be there for the whole day, hopefully 4 dives in total. I'm just super excited. This is meant to be the Valhalla, the absolute haven of diving around the world. So Sipadan, here we come. We're checked and ready to go. The sun's coming up, just about time.
Okay, I'm not as smooth as I appear to be. Many a times I will stumble over my own words, especially when I attempt to dabble with a bit of Malay.
Oh no! Ninja fail!
I don't think I can think of anything more pamperous. I don't think I can think of a special type massage. Points to release everybody's little weaknesses and pampering then a full on. Alamak! What's it?
Dia orang lemas.
Tengkorak ikan lumba. What is it? What's that? Sulung. Another island over there is called Pulau
Dayang Bunting. Bunting.
Pulau Kayang Bunting.
Dayang.
Pulau Kayang
Bunting.
Pulau Dayang Gunting. Kamu bagus. Saya tak. Saya main kayak. Dengan siapa? Dengan Beach Brothers Borneo. Oh, bagus. Jom pergi main. Is that right? See, my Malay's getting better. What's everybody complaining about?
I feel so fortunate right now, especially since I'm a relatively new diver. And oh yes, I get to be right here. Now, since year 2000, limitations were imposed on Siburan by the government to help protect the ecosystem. Only 120 dive permits are given every day on a first-come, first-served basis. I thought Siburan dives would be extremely deep, like in Layang Layang. But interestingly, most of the dive sites here hardly exceed 25 meters in depth. And this site, well, this site's called Coral Garden. We have dived so much that sharks have become such a common sight. But the sad fact would be that the numbers of these white-tip reef sharks are dwindling due to increasing levels of unregulated fishing activity. So say no to shark's fin soup, people. It's easily understandable why Siburan has got the entire world gushing over it. The wildlife that you see amongst the flourishing corals are so engaging, like this funny looking thing here. It's asymmetrical and has both of its eyes on one side of its head. It's called the flatfish and has a pigmented surface to serve as a camouflaging tool since it's usually by the sea bottom. Time passes by way too quickly when you are so absorbed in the surroundings. And before we knew it, it was time to board the boat. Now with us was another DM named Yvonne who briefed us about the next dive site. So the reason why Mabel and Siburan is like yin and yang is because Mabel is excellent for macro diving, but Siburan involves many encounters with larger fish. We came across a bunch of green bodies with the most prominent of teeth. They are none other than the bumphead parrotfish. Now, living up to their name, they occasionally bump into corals with their heads to break it into smaller pieces, so it's easier for them to eat. That's also why they need powerful teeth to sufficiently grind the hard coral into digestible paste. Siburan has over 3,000 species of fish, and I can only wish that I could spot each and every one of them. Now with 12 dive sites in total, these islands are worth multiple visits, but I still have yet to see my whale shark and manta rays, so I'm still gonna continue diving until they reveal themselves to me. These underwater worlds are ever changing and ever evolving, allowing everyone to be greeted with a different experience every time. As for me, I'm astounded with being given the opportunity to be in such close contact with these mysterious entities in a world that's alien to mine. Even when you're long out of the water, the overwhelming sensation still leaves you infatuated.
We don't have a destination as of yet because we're actually hunting. We're on the lookout for barracuda. There's supposedly a big vortex of barracuda, which means like a huge school of them. These are the hunting grounds for them, so we're just keeping an eye out the water for some dark moving clouds, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll spot them in a minute.
Suddenly, Yvonne excitedly announced that she had spotted them, so we hurriedly got our stuff together and dove right in. And there they were. Hundreds, possibly thousands of them just circling above us. With their large mouths, powerful set jaws, fangs for teeth, they earned the nickname of Tigers of the Sea. Built for speed, these creatures can swim up to 40 kilometers an hour when aiming to attack their prey. These huge schools are formed when it's hunting time, and the many eyes of the school will cooperate in finding food. It is only when danger is in sight that they form a confusing tornado, preventing any barracuda to be singled out and fixed upon as prey to the predator. Barracudas are said to be attracted to reflective metallic objects that resemble the types of silver fishes they most commonly eat. So do be advised to avoid wearing jewelry when you dive. You definitely don't want to be mistaken as food, for their strong jaws can even chop bigger fish in half. But wow, really? Being a spectator of such occurrences makes you realize what a tiny speck we are in a universe of absolute magnificence. There were many other schools of fish throughout this dive, and one of them was the yellowtail snapper, who coincidentally, guys, are prey of the barracuda. And these are the spotted sweetlips. They are brown with large white blotches when they're young, but gain more spots as they age, and the spots reverse from white to black. A remarkable relationship between different life forms can be observed at the cleaning station, where sea organisms take advantage of the services of parasitic and cleaner fish such as wrasses, cleaner shrimp, and gobies. Now, parasitic infestations can kill fish or impair their ability to swim, hunt, and mate. So these cleaner fish harmlessly eat algae and parasites that may become attached to the gills, vents, and other body parts of these bigger fish. Now, you gotta agree with me, guys, the food chain of the animal kingdom is always so fascinating.
That had to have been the best dive of the day. We saw the humongous amount of barracuda, the sharks, and just pretty much the drop off the edge is just amazing. But definitely the vortex of barracuda had my breath completely taken away. That was stunning. Sipadan, we love ya.
So, when I'm underwater, I'm just a mere observer.
But on land, I become a pumped-up machine of never-ending energy. Yeehaw!
That's how we do it on the road. Any chance we get, we're just doing this like this.
Look at the cameraman, my favorite.
Mobile gym.
And with an energized body, I shall put it to good use, such as sports, perhaps.
Now we've just sort of gone over right to the end of the jetty, and the sun's coming down. We see these guys playing some football on a little island, so I'm gonna head out there and see if I can join them. It's like on the shirts versus skins, so fighting against you, huh? That's right.
Now I found out that these guys aren't just a bunch of boys, they're the police versus the army. So I'm way in over my head, but maybe they can teach me a thing or two.
I think we got to cut it there. I'm terrible, I'm rubbish. One end to a great day on Kapolei, 2 fantastic dives, ended it with a fantastic session of footy with these guys. The sun's coming down. Kapolei, you have really stolen my heart on this one. I love you.
The best, the funniest, and the most memorable. Coming up next.
Now, what I have here is a very fun little handy cam because of this little baby. It's a stylus. Now, with the stylus, you can actually add or write a little message for your mates like wish you were here or thinking about you. Or if you really want to funk things up a bit, there's some trendy little icons you can put into it, little pictures that might spice it up a bit. It also has different filters to set the mood. Now, usually you'll find those in digital cameras, but not necessarily in video cameras like this one. Now, it has nostalgic, there's a vivid setting, there's a black and white setting, so much that it's going to keep everything interesting. Now, not only that, one of the best features has got to be the touchscreen LCD, and on top of that, it records in full HD. All these amazing snapshots complemented by your own personal additions make it the perfect memorabilia, don't you think? And this message goes out to all my loved ones that I'm missing back home. I really do wish you guys were here with me. Some of the things I'll miss the most are these silly times I've had with my crew. Just love annoying their brains out. Sometimes they join in with my shenanigans and laugh with me. Sometimes they just laugh at me. But there are times where the tables are turned and I get to be the one in hysterics. Mario Puzo!
They're rocking the shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we gotta get it.
Getting a wedgie.
Never wearing these shorts again.
So it's our scriptwriter Pat's turn to try the old trapeze. There she climbs. She tells me she's scared of heights. I don't really believe her too much.
Okay.
Dude. Get up.
What the?
Stop being romantic.
But overall, I had such immense fun. I hope my memory doesn't fail me as I try to recollect some of the best parts.
So I finally come to the end of my little journey, the end of islands and beaches. I can't quite believe it actually, you know, because we've been pretty much all over the rest of Malaysia. Now sometimes it's not just the places that you go to that are really memorable, it's the people. I mean, some of the guys that really stood out had to be
Dolphin Lee, the reason behind my ability to dive. Joe, the man who showed me my first leopard shark. Landy, the surf guru. And of course, the boat makers. I believe that everyone enters your life for a reason, be it good or bad. And these guys have been a great inspiration and a reminder to live my life with a burning passion for everything that I do.
Now, more often than not, when you go to an island, your mind is often restricted to staying at the beach or, you know, sunbathing, go in the ocean. There's so much to do out there or inside the island. You've got to be active on your holidays. Just get out there and enjoy it.
Take a look at Pak Tam, Ash and the horse stables. They provide access to activities that aren't beach related, yet it is complemented by the presence of a beach due to the island's stunning scenery. So, I guess with everything else in life as well, from time to time we should look for alternate routes. Surprise yourself with new possibilities, and who knows, you may love it more than what you are already familiar with.
Now, I was originally born in Sarawak, but I've never actually explored the rest of Borneo. I mean, there's this huge side of it that I've only been to. I mean, it's broken me into it. Sabah. You have really stolen my heart. You have the most beautiful dive sites. You have the most beautiful, most enjoyable people out here. You guys are so much fun. And I never realized how much fun until I came here. These places are unbelievable, and I really, truly never knew that they existed. And I've had so many great moments that I'll always bring with me around life, telling people to come here and just letting people know that this place has some sort of mysticism behind it. There's some sort of energy that I think everybody needs a bit of it. It's medicine for the soul. It's definitely food for the soul.
The sea was the cradle for prehistoric life forms. The roots of our very own existence sprouted from these vast waters that make up 70% of our planet. And Sabah introduced me to so many different lifestyles and behavioral patterns of its ethnicities and entities. It has been an out-of-this-world experience to explore the evolutionary development that brought forth an enchanting array of life, cultures, and traditions.
Now, I've met a lot of people on all my travelers, and travelers from around the world come to Malaysia, our country, to have holiday. And we don't even realize that Malaysia holds some of the most beautiful natural sites in the world. So we should appreciate it. We should take a holiday in our own country. Come out to the coast, come out to these stunning islands, come out to these beautiful beaches. I mean, you've also got to understand that there are a lot of people who have fantastic jobs out here that make a living for things that they love to do, like being a dive instructor or running a chalet or even just working for the summer in a beautiful place like this. You know, you got to give up sometimes those materialistic kind of notions of having to live in a city. Take a step out into the world, you know. It's the simple things in life that really count, that are really sort of imprinted on your mind. I mean, a jump in the ocean, a stare into a burning sunset, even just a random smile from a stranger, it just makes your day complete. And all these little moments, they can pass us by from every day, you know, so appreciate the little things. That's the one thing that I can teach you from all my little travels in Malaysia. Don't take them for granted. Spend your time wisely. Get out into the world. Go do whatever you want to do. Go do it. And go do it without boundaries.
An epilogue shall not come into view, because with every end, we start anew. The past serves as a tool for commemoration, comprehension, most importantly, continuation.
I don't know.